Senator O'Neill.
Thank you, Deputy President. And I rise to decry the abysmal state of communications policy under the People's Choice for Liberal Party leader. When you have polls like the recent ReachTel one that puts the Minister for Communication as the most popular choice for leader, even more popular than the Prime Minister and the Treasurer combined, you really have to wonder what the Australian public have done to deserve such a set of choices of men with such limited vision for this great nation of ours. The fact that people would prefer to have in charge of the Liberals the very minister responsible for ripping away affordable, high-speed broadband from every household across the nation, only to replace it with a retrograde, century-old infrastructure. It's a sad indictment of this government that is determined to shrink Australia's capacity and at the same time to shrink our belief in ourselves as a nation, of our capacity to lift and envision a bold and great future. That's the hallmark of Australians, a willingness to innovate, capacity to see a bolder future. But the small-mindedness of those who are leading now couldn't be better represented than in the terrible policy that they have now decided to implement around the NBN. Of course, to be fair to Mr Turnbull, Mr Abbott once again deserves to wear most of the blame. He simply has no regard for, or even a basic conceptual understanding of the genuine technological challenges facing Australian households and businesses going into the future, nor does he understand the opportunities of a ubiquitous NBN access for all Australians. Businesses don't operate only in business parks. Businesses operate, small businesses in particular, out of homes where technological capacity gives them to work, opportunity to work and earn an income and employ people in the local community and still access a global market. Mr Abbott is a leader who has in the past questioned the very need for an NBN, stating, do we really want to invest hard-earned taxpayers' money in what is essentially a video entertainment system? That was in 2010, that level of enlightenment. And again, if you're going to get me into a technical argument, I'm going to lose it. Well, it's the Australian people who've lost by losing Labor's high-speed broadband network, which would deliver up to 1,000 megabits per second, only to have it replaced by an obsolete, cheap bit patchwork that struggles to top 50 megabits at the very best. And while the argument is often about speed, Mr Deputy President, can I make the point that it's the reliability of a fibre-to-the-premise network that is a critical part of what the NBN delivers. If we are really going to take heed of what we've been finding out about in telehealth, if we really are going to give Australians who've given their working life to this nation the chance to age in place and have the support and technology to help them monitor their health in very efficient and effective ways, we need a stable provision of this service to their home. When Mr Turnbull, even Mr Turnbull has tacitly conceded that his plan for the patchwork quilt of delivery is flawed. I mean, who would invest their hard-earned income, as Malcolm did, into France Telecom when the company was rolling out fibre-to-the-home technology across France, if they doubted the economics of the fibre-to-the-premises model? True to form, though, on the NBN, like so many other issues, this government has broken its promise to the Australian people. Prior to the election, the Coalition promised to honour all contracts entered into by the NBN, with Mr Turnbull stating every contract the NBN Co has entered into will be honoured in accordance with its terms, as recently as 16th of August 2013. Put simply, he's deceived the Australian people, yet another deception from an increasingly deceptive and sneaky government. As we see in Tasmania and where I live on the Central Coast, the Coalition's walked away from their prior commitments to rolling out the NBN in an equitable way to all Australians. It's so toxic that even the Tasmanian Liberal leader, Will Hodgman, was recently heard conceding that it could cost them the election. For the Central Coast, to add insult to injury, the government has listed Umina as one of the test sites for trial of obsolete fibre-to-the-node technology. And it's an open admission that they're going to create on the coast a community of haves and have-nots. We know that they haven't even consulted local businesses or the community. They've confessed to that at estimates. It's little wonder that over 250 local businesses have banded together to lobby the government to give fibre to the premise. I support their actions and will continue to fight this government of small-mindedness and limited vision.
Time has elapsed, Senator O'Neill.